Hangry Gen started because of the frustration.
I was good at cleaning.
Okay.
Because obviously you go abroad and the first thing you do is
Cleaning.
either cleaning or restaurants,
What was the moment you're like, no, I'm just leaving this? Or like why did you want to come back to Nepal despite having a stable job there?
I think the opportunity that Nepal gives, Australia to China.
You fell in love with Pokhara.
Yeah, I think running operations with younger team is one of the challenges that I faced.
You go to Shark Tank,
Mhm.
you get roasted by all the sharks,
Uh-huh.
and you do not receive a single investment.
Find a co-founder with a different skill set
Yeah.
and then start something from the scratch again.
Your delivery guy meets accident while having to deliver food at night
Uh-huh.
because it was raining.
Food delivery was the one business which boomed during COVID-19.
What's that one skill every young founder should have?
There's no opportunities in this business in Nepal.
Directly diving into entrepreneurship without job experience.
Patience was missing on me.
Like, what was the time frame or what was the moment when you're like, yes, this is going to work, we're going to do this?
A lot of negative comments started coming in saying that we are making the lake dirty.
So you go bankrupt,
Uh-huh.
you have no money left, and what are you going to do to start everything from scratch?
Food delivery business in Nepal, to naam ko lai matra cha ke. Even if you take big giants name like Foodmandu, Pathal,
So your co-founder just quit
Uh-huh.
and is trash talking about the brand online.
uh-huh.
So what are you going to do about it?
बर्थडे पार्टी होस् अथवा मिठो खाजा नास्ताको लागि दियालो रेस्टुरेन्ट एन्ड बार मुस्ताङ चोक पोखरा साथै दियालो रेस्टुरेन्टसँगै रहेको दियालो मार्ट सम्पूर्ण सामानहरू अब एउटै छानामुनि सस्तो सजिलो र भरपर्दो दियालो मार्ट खाजा तथा सामानहरूको फ्री होम डेलिभरी
So hi.
Hello.
So आज हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ Binay Sharma, who's a co-founder of Hangry Gen.
Hi.
So questionहरु start गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि I wanted to know your journey, है?
Okay.
How did you end up being a co-founder of Hangry Gen? Let's start from your days in Australia and days when you came back to Nepal and how you were like manager at some hotel
Right.
and then how you started Hangry Gen.
Okay. So, I did my bachelor's and master's Australia after graduating A levels from Kathmandu. I was there for like around 9.5, 10 years in Australia. I was always working for some hospitality business. Start the restaurant or hospitality line doing that. I started like I had a moment of work in an Asian restaurant which was doing losses. When I jumped in, it started making money in like next 6 months or something, and I saw that potential on me. I'm like, I know this is something that I should be doing for myself instead of doing it for some other people. So then I decided to come back and give what I've learned. And Nepal Aichi, Hangry Gen, it started out of frustration, to be honest. My co-founder and I, we were working late night, and we were very hungry, and we ordered some food. 2 hours later, food ta aउँदै आएन. And then when we called them back, my phone was blocked. The next day I called them and I asked them what happened, and they had nothing to say. Like no service, no customer service, nothing at all. So I was like, this is a problem not only us that's facing, maybe a lot of people are facing as well, who's working late night. So let's do something about it. That's when Hangry Gen started. That's how we started Hangry Gen.
Okay, that's perfect. So another thing that I really want to ask you is like, you went into the Asian restaurant and it started doing profits. Like, what are the things that you think you did differently there?
Okay, marketing was definitely a major factor. तर त्यो भन्दा नि I think मेरो management style was something that made the company grow profitably. So yeah.
So what exactly do you mean by your management style?
So taking good care of your employees is one thing, because once you do that, they do your work by themselves. You don't have to micromanage everything. त्यो कुराहरु तिनीहरुले आफ्नो एफर्ट्स आफै दिइराको हुन्छ है. So operational wise, it was very efficient, and you get to have less people on board, and then that's how you start making money as well.
Yes. And also, like you told me that Hangry Gen started because of the frustration.
Yeah.
And whenever I think about starting a business or starting a brand, there needs to be a primary research, right?
Right.
You need to have an idea to validate that your problem is worth solving.
Right.
Or like it should be turned into a business idea. So like, did you do some primary research? Did you talk to other people? Like, what
Okay.
was the time frame, or what
Mhm.
was the moment when
Mhm.
you're like, yes, this is going to work. We're going to do this
Okay. So market research took us around 6 months. You know,
before you started. Hangry
before we
Gen.
started Hangry
Okay.
Gen. So we decided we'll do
Yes.
something about it, and then
Yes.
it took us 6 months, another 6 months just to do the market research, and not all on the papers, but I mean, footwork ma gaera, you know, we found out how much a burger costs or how much a pizza costs and what it tastes like, you know, and हाम्रो competitors पनि what they are doing. So it took us somewhere around 6 months. Validation को कुरामा you don't get, like, your ideas doesn't get validated start ma, even from your parents, your friends, even your co-founder, you know. The validation ko part चाहिँ you don't get in the beginning, but once you scale, once you do better, the validation automatically नै आउँदै आउँदै जान्छ.
Okay, that's perfect. And another thing that I wanted to ask you was, तपाईँ अस्ट्रेलियाबाट चाहिँ नेपाल आउनुभयो because you thought you could be doing something for yourself instead.
Yeah.
Ani, I was just doing some research about you and your time at Australia, and I figured out that you've done mates, rates, bond cleaning.
Yeah.
So what happened to that? Did you
Okay.
fail? Did you just like, what was the thing that happened to
So that was actually my first startup
venture?
I would say.
Okay.
First venture. I did it because I was good at cleaning.
Okay.
because you know, obviously you go abroad and the
Yes.
first thing you do is
Cleaning.
either cleaning or restaurants, you know.
Yes.
Even at that point of time, even I had the sense ki haina, if I'm doing the cleaning for some other people and I'm getting like $20-$25 an hour, and those guys are making $100 an hour, maybe I should do it by myself.
Yes.
So that was my first thing, but unfortunately, due to some visa restrictions, I was not allowed to work more than 20 hours. So
Yes.
त्यसले गर्दाखेरि I had to eventually, I sold it. I didn't.
Oh, you sold it?
I sold it. So I started with, I think initial investment was somewhere around $1,000-$1,200, and I sold
Yes.
it for like $2,500.
$25,000.
$2,500. So it was good money back. Like, I mean, it seems small, but it's
it's-
actually good.
With something that you started, it's pretty decent amount.
Yeah, and back then I was only 18, 19 years old, so
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
That's pretty good. And also, like you had a stable job in Australia, right?
Before I came back.
Yes,
Yeah.
before you came back.
Yeah.
It's, I think, I'm not really sure how do I put this, but then it's a little risky when you're leaving something that's stable.
Yeah.
And you don't have any idea what you're going to do with what you have.
Yeah.
So like, what was the moment you're like, no, I'm just leaving this? Or
Yeah.
like why did you want to come back to Nepal despite having a stable job there?
Okay, so stable in a sense. I had like 6 figures job,
Yes.
so it was really good.
Uh-huh.
I had a really good teammates as well. म नेपाल चाहिँ पर्मानेन्टली मुभ हुनलाई पनि आएको होइन. I was only here to like just laid back, you know. I worked for many
Yes.
years, and I was like, you know, it's time to take some break, chill out. So I came Nepal around 3-4 months. I did some trekking, Pokhara आएँ, you know, and I fell in love with Pokhara, and I was like,
You fell in love with Pokhara.
yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I'm not, like, there is something that I can do.
Yes.
Mero skills, mero education can be beneficial in Nepal as well. And honestly, I think the opportunity that Nepal gives, I mean, Australia ma त्यो छैन कि तिम्रो business को लागि, it's very saturated.
Yes.
Nepal ma it's very easy to you know, to start something because
Yes.
opportunities there is छ कि.
Yes. Okay. And also another question that I had was, so were you a founder with a problem, or were you a founder searching for a problem? Right? No? I figured out Hangry Gen, mother, you're frustrated on your own.
Yeah.
So were there any other things that you wanted to do in Nepal, or was Hangry Gen your first thing? I was like, I'm going to do this. Did you think of doing anything else in Nepal?
No. I mean, like I said, I wasn't here to start something.
Yes.
Like म घुम्न मात्र आएको थिएँ. I was here for a break, and when I saw the problem, I was like, no, this is something that needs to be solved. I mean, food delivery business in Nepal, to नामको लागि मात्र छ कि even if you take big giants name like Putmandu, Pathaus, the delivery charges are so high, you know, that how can someone afford, like, you know, the minimum salary of Nepal is 17,000 rupees.
Yes.
How can someone with 17,000 rupees afford a delivery charge of 100 rupees?
Yeah.
You know, I get it if the location is far away, that's a totally different scenario, but it's namko matri bhayera we were like, no, this is the time I think we should change the system of food delivery in Nepal.
Awesome. Okay, that was your journey from Australia to starting Hangry Gen.
Yeah.
When you're starting Hangry Gen, I think when I did my own business in India, like there were a lot of, like, you know, mess ups.
Right.
Like figuring out a team was a problem.
Yeah.
Like, how did you go about finding a good co-founder? Like,
Okay.
how does one do that? Like, as an advice, how do you find a good co-founder that you can work with in a most efficient way?
Okay, so for me it was I was lucky because my co-founder is my college mate as well. We studied A level together, so it was very easy for me, and we both have two different skill set, you know. So we are a food tech company.
Yes.
I take care of food and he take care of tech.
Yes.
So it was very easy for me. But saying that if I have to tell someone else that how do you find, like, what kind of skill set that you need in your co-founder is, if you lack something on your own, maybe, you know, that kind of skill set you should be looking for in your co-founder buddy.
Okay, so with complementary skills.
Yeah.
Okay, and another thing is, like, when you're doing something with someone else, if it's just you have the sole decision making power, right?
Yeah.
So you can be doing whatever you want
Yeah.
with your own calculations.
True.
But when there's someone else,
Uh-huh.
you have to, like, digest very hard truths.
Right.
Like, there are disagreements, there are conflicts.
Right.
So if you have ever had something like that, how did you navigate it, and how does one navigate the conflicts or disagreements that can happen with a co-founder?
I think a lot of businesses fail when there's like 2 or 3 co-founders. A lot of businesses fail because of decision making skills, you know. And when me and my co-founder started Hangry Gen, we were pretty sure that we will keep a title on us, and that title will be sole responsible for decision making. So when I proposed to my co-founder about me having the CEO position, he was like very happy. He was instantly was like, yeah, do it. And to decision making skills, I think I carried way forward, like पहिले देखि नै. So he was very okay to do that. So I think you have that, you get that tagline, you know. You get that position, name of position, and that's when the person should be making the only decision. BOD को कुरा त छँदैछ, but again one person should be making decisions.
So basically what you're saying is, let's say if marketing मैले हेरिरहेको छु अनि operations अर्को मान्छेले हेर्न दिइरहेको छु भने, yes, obviously we can have opinions about different departments, but the sole decision making, no matter if I हुन्छ नि believe in that idea or not, should be given to one person.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, see, if you talk about startups,
Yes.
For me, I've been wearing multiple hats. Like I'm the CEO, CFO, CMO, you know.
Yes.
My marketing team is definitely there. They have coolest ideas.
Yes.
You know,
I've seen
amazing ideas, you know. But do all of them make it? No. You know. But saying that, you know, the ideas that resonates with my target audience gets approval.
Yes.
So हामी brainstorm गरेर पनि then we decide on what we are doing.
Okay, perfect. So when you started Hangry Gen, like, it's been 1 year and 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, how was that journey? Like, getting that first customer or getting first 500 sales.
Right.
Like, how did you go about the entire journey?
I mean, it was honestly a roller coaster ride.
Let's talk about it.
It's something that your emotions goes up and down, you know. When you do your first sale, you know, the first pizza that I sold, I was so happy about it.
Yeah.
You know, I went on a delivery myself. I thanked the customer. I was like, this is my first startup. You know, you're my first customer. Thank you for ordering. Please let me know if there's anything you like or dislike. But yeah, I mean, to emotional roller coaster चाहिँ बढी हुन्छ. You know, from the moment you get your one order, the time you break even, you know, the time when you enter the profitability, and the time when you raise your first round of investment, it's complete, and it's just the beginning. Like अझै धेरै growth र उसहरु अझै धेरै बाँकी छ.
Yes.
But yeah, the emotional roller coaster is you have to be controlled about it.
Let's talk about the hardest moments during the
Hardest moment.
journey.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I really underestimated is funny. When I was manager in
Yes.
in Australia working in restaurants,
Mhm.
it was very easy for me to manage the staffs, run the operations. Nepal, I would say it's very different. It's like working with Genjis. It's something else. It's crazy. They need to have their own opinions, which is good. I mean, to opinions हरूले गर्दा पनि धेरै growth पनि भएको छ हाम्रो.
हजुर.
But yeah, I think running operations with younger team is one of the challenges that I faced.
Okay, so it was hard for you to work with young people.
Yeah, it was, but now it's like now I'm somehow it's like more mixed up नै भइसक्यो तिमीहरूसँग पनि. So it's okay now. Now if I need to hire someone, I would really love to hire some younger generations.
Yes.
With
Okay.
idea flows to idea continuation, it's something else.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and another thing is, like, when we talked about Cloud Kitchen,
Mhm.
it's not very well known in Nepal, right?
Right.
It just like started off.
Right.
So how did you like go about this?
Okay. So I had some skill set in food as well.
Yes.
Not only on management, but food.
Yes, yeah.
So we were even thinking of doing only food delivery service like what
Yes.
Food Mando and Pathau does.
Yeah.
But because I had those skill set,
Yes.
I was like, I know we have the resources. Let's use that. Let's try it out. Our first the reason we started in Pokhara is funny. We wanted to find the product market fit. To थिएन हामीसँग सुरुमा. So it took us like 3-4 months to get the product market fit. That's why, because we had the resources already in Pokhara, so we started in Pokhara. Cloud Kitchen model, I mean, when you have like 350 varieties of menus,
Yes.
you tend to mess up somewhere.
Yes.
What we want to do is we want to have limited menu. What late night people want, what our audiences would like to have. Some obviously I'm losing some revenue.
Yeah.
Not having let's say chow mein or
Yeah.
some other fried
Yeah.
rice or other items, but we have a different plan for that.
Yes.
Cloud Kitchen, yes, it's something new.
Yeah.
And Nepalma still there are some people who are like हैन त्यो किचन कहाँ छ थाहा छैन, hygiene के छ थाहा
Yes.
छैन.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. And even Hangry Gen पनि we have acknowledged it कि हैन
Yeah.
छ त्यो customer trust एउटा चाहिन्छ for me to build a brand as well. So we are planning something for that as well. And it might soon be roll out as well.
So it's something exciting that's coming up.
It's very exciting. I mean, हामी चाहिँ I'll share with you.
Yeah.
So हामीले चाहिँ because that problem is there.
Yeah.
So हामी चाहिँ के गर्न खोजिरहेको छौँ भन्दाखेरि when you place an order with Hangry Gen, you instantly get a link, and that links connect to our cameras. So CCTV camera in the kitchen. So you will see your entire process of cooking once your order gets cooked, and then when it's ready to deliver, our one of the team closes it, and then you will get the link for our
The delivery.
riders map.
Oh,
So you'll have the whole process. A
Yes.
lot of people call and like 15 मिनटमा कल गरेर हाम्रो order कहाँ पुग्यो के भयो हैन.
Yeah.
And I think that's frustrating for us as well, हैन.
Yep.
Efficient पनि भइरहेको छैन. So we are planning that.
Yes.
I think we'll roll out that in 2025 pani.
Yes. That's super cool. Like I can see the thinking behind whatever you're doing.
Right.
And it's something that's really cool. And one interesting thing that I figured out about your brand is like the first thing that I went through is your Instagram.
Right.
And the Instagram was super cool. And then I went through your videos. Those are also super cool. So like one thing about branding that I want to know is like, why did you choose this, funky, cool, out there branding for your
Quirky, I call it.
Quirky branding for
Yeah.
your,
Okay, so like I said, हाम्रो audience नै Gen Z or millennials.
Yes.
We're targeting most of them.
Yep.
We understand what they think.
Yes.
And we want to learn more how they process, their daily lives.
Yep.
So the cool words that they use,
Yes.
we want to use that,
Yeah. Yeah.
के अरे तिनीहरूको lifestyle
Yes.
is what Hangry Gen should be speaking about.
Yep.
So we हमले चाहिँ somewhere around that back in the mind we have कि हैन we know our audience, what
Yeah.
they're thinking, what they want, so we have to relate to them in
Yeah.
any means, you know, in any way. We do some mess up as well, but
Yes.
you know, but that's there. We want to connect with
Yeah.
our audience.
What exactly do you mean by we do some mess ups as well? Can you recall some?
Okay,
Some cool mess ups.
recently, okay, so this is very I don't know, I really don't have a word for it, but
Yeah.
we did a recent campaign at we shooted a video
Yeah.
where we went on the lake. You know, we did
Oh, yeah,
kayaking.
yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
all of our group
Yeah.
teams went. And then when we were doing some cool stuff, you know, and a lot of negative comments started coming in saying that we are making the lake dirty.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know, a lot
Yes.
of, like, we have
Yes.
been yelled at a lot.
Yes.
And till this date, I'm even replying the comment. I'm like, I've left the disclaimer. I'm like, we have taken care of our
Yeah.
rubbish,
Yes.
trash responsibly. We have put it in a
Yes.
bin, but still, you know, that's
Yeah.
that's there. And I think we should have communicated in a better way. You
Yeah.
know, the content
Yeah.
we could have done it in some other way that
Mhm.
you know, even they don't feel offended.
Yes.
So that's one mess up.
I mean, yeah, you don't really know what the customer really thinks about it, because like when I was also doing a brand in India, we had a different name.
Right.
Like, it was Sinful Cookies,
Uh-huh.
but it was supposed to be healthy cookies, like
Right.
with no maida, no atta, etc., etc. So I think it's a iterative process about figuring out from what customer thinks about your brand,
Right.
and then maybe just like leaning on to what
Right.
they really want. That said, we move to a segment.
Uh-huh.
So this, where do I look? This is a crisis management segment. So what we're going to do in this segment is we're going to throw random chaoses at you.
Okay.
And you are going to think as a founder
Uh-huh.
and tell us what you would have done, or like what your reaction would be and what your plan of action would be
Okay.
for each circumstance. Moving on.
Okay.
Just like I heard about, your content goes viral
Right.
for wrong reason.
Uh-huh.
Let's say there's a hair in the food of a customer.
Right.
How would you face it?
Okay, so with customer complaints, we follow three major steps. Like, we follow three steps. So we first acknowledge it, that okay, it's there. We are not going to defend it. You know, to human errors are also there.
Yeah.
After acknowledging, we apologize for what happened. त्यसपछि we go and compensate it. So that's the 3 step of SOPs is what we do to prevent any future disruptions.
Okay. Second, you go to Shark Tank,
Mhm.
you get roasted by all the sharks,
Uh-huh.
and you do not receive a single investment.
Okay. Still, I think it's the marketing for me. I mean, any
Yeah.
time of marketing is good marketing. You know, if I'm getting live on national television.
Yeah.
It's marketing for me. I mean, I'd be rather happy about it.
Okay, perfect. So you go bankrupt,
Uh-huh.
you have no money left, and what are you going to do to start everything from scratch?
I think I'll again look for another co-founder.
With money?
Without money. I mean, to do business, you don't like, initial fundings are there, but you don't need a lot of money to do business.
Mhm.
But yeah, find a co-founder with a different skill set,
Yeah.
and then start something from the scratch again.
Okay. So your co-founder
Mhm.
just quit,
Uh-huh.
and is trash talking about the brand online.
Uh-huh.
So what are you going to do about it?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think I'll call him up. I'll call him up and fix whatever is
Yeah.
going sideways.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give him a call and
Yeah.
see what happened, why he's upset about it.
Okay. So next one is your kitchen partner copies your recipe
Mhm.
and starts a copycat brand.
Okay. I mean, anyone can do that. There is no entry barrier in cloud kitchens. Anyone can do that. But saying that, the determination is, if it's not there, the brand's gonna fail anyways.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't have the right
Okay.
team, right
Yes.
humility, you know, it's gonna fail anyway. So I'm not gonna be much worried about it.
So you'll just let it be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. Your delivery guy meets accident while having to deliver food at night
Uh-huh.
because it was raining.
Right. In that case, I think I should be taking care of my rider first and call the customer and apologize for what's been happening. Explain them the situation. People do understand. Explain them the situation that what's happening around, and then maybe send them the food from the next rider who is available. But
And
yeah,
what about the rider?
I mean, obviously we're gonna take care of him first. We're gonna take it. We'll see the impact of the accident, and then if
Yes.
we have to take them to the hospitals,
Mm.
we'll take them to the hospitals.
Mm.
All of my riders are insured anyway, so
Oh, okay. They have
So,
an insurance. That's
yeah.
perfect. So something similar to COVID-19 is spreading.
I think I would I'm not saying anything, but I would definitely want something like that to happen again, because food delivery was the one business which boomed during COVID-19.
Mhm.
Delivery businesses, e-commerce businesses, because people are more comfortable.
Mhm.
Nepal ma pani, especially Pokhara, there was no cloud kitchens or food delivery before COVID. थियो होला, but they didn't had much hype.
Yes.
People were not much confident about it.
Mm.
Right now, because of COVID, a lot of people are comfortable getting food at home as well. So
Okay, so you'd want something like that to
I
happen
mean-
again?
I mean, not killing people, but
Okay.
something that grows the business,
But does not kill people.
that not kill people.
Okay.
That's where I draw the line.
Okay. Last question. Your promised bulk order of 500 boxes is cancelled after the food is made.
Right. Okay, if that happens, I think
Sue them.
no, I'm not gonna do that. So I think we always look for CSR opportunities as well.
Uh-huh.
So we might be able to go to some child cares or
Mm.
old age homes and just distribute them away, get some blessings.
That's cool. Okay. Now we move on to rapid fire round.
Okay.
So you don't.
Don't be too hard on me though.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
You're cool. Okay. We support cool people.
Hmm.
Okay. Rapid fire round. What's that one skill every young founder should have?
I think patience should everyone should have that. And humility is what every founder should be having.
If you were not doing Hangry Gen or whatever you're doing right now, what else would you be doing?
I think I'll be still managing some
Some
restaurants.
company?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Biggest mistake you've done in the journey?
Undermining the operations part. So I was when I started, I was like underestimating of what operation should be looking like. What it's different.
A message to your competitors.
I mean, watch away. We're coming. We're coming
Okay,
big. We're coming big.
Okay, one thing you still struggle with daily.
Daily routines.
Yes.
I think time management is something that I struggle right now.
Oh, okay. Best and worst advice you've ever gotten.
Best is to start to believe. If you're believing in something, start it, do it. And worst would be one that I've got from one of my indirect competitors. They were like, it's like there's no opportunities in this business in Nepal.
Oh,
I'm not going to tell the name of
they'll
it,
be
but
watching this. Okay. So what's your I'm never going to do this again decision?
that's I think there was one moment when the order was messing up and everyone was busy in their own ways. Everyone was working hard, but
Yeah.
I think that point of time I got too way too frustrated and
Overburnt.
so two time I think I yelled at one of my staff. So I think I would never want to do that. That was the first time and probably the last time as well.
Okay. And a dish that you'll never add to the menu.
I think something that doesn't meet the delivery guidelines. So let's say something that gets soggy when it get delivered.
Dahi chura.
It might be. Might be.
Okay.
Even biryanis, I would say. Biryanis are most popular, but
Yeah.
if you have some short time, biryani mitho huदैन त्यो
हजुर.
सानो टाइममा बनाएको and then you
हजुर.
deliver too far away.
So one thing you cannot live without.
one thing I cannot leave it. I think right now it's Hangry Gen. It's the business.
Okay. If you get a chance to onboard one shark,
Mhm.
who would it be?
I think I already have that shark.
Now we move on to just normal talk about like startups and like, advice to young people.
Mhm.
So one thing that I was thinking about when I was researching on you was when you were Vinay at day 1
Right.
in Hangry Gen,
Mhm.
and now you're Vinay at, let's say, day 460 at Hangry Gen.
Right.
So what all mindset shifts that you've gone through, or
Mhm.
what are operational shifts that you've gone through? So
Mhm.
what's the what's the difference like?
Okay. So I think start my patience was missing on me.
Mhm.
I've learned that hard way as well. I was like no, I want to do this. All the same time. Strategies were there, but still the patience was lacking.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm more relaxed, chill back. I'm doing my part,
Mhm.
and I know it's gonna work.
Yeah.
I'm just trusting the process right now.
Mhm.
So Pailati, I was not like I was skeptic about what I'm doing because you have a lot of you
Yes.
don't get a lot of validations.
Yeah.
Not from your parents.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of validations.
Yes.
So everything that I was doing, I was doubting myself.
Mhm.
But right now, I'm just trusting the process that
Yeah.
everything checks out.
Mhm.
And if it checks out, it is going to work. I just have to keep the patience. So
And how do you learn that? Because for me, like, I just want to give you a context, okay? So whenever when we're starting our brand, we just had 4 months,
Right.
and we're already 2 months late,
Mhm.
and we had a lot of things to do in 2 months,
Yeah.
and like everything was on the plate. We're stressed out, we're overburdened, we're doing like things
Right.
in the air.
Right.
We didn't really see the direction. Like
Right.
it was not like work was not equal to the
Right.
the effects that we saw.
Right.
So how does someone navigate through this situation, and how do you become patient and start trusting the process?
Okay, I think you need a little bit of time. You have to give it a little bit of time because once you plan something, once you do something, and eventually when it works, you your brain start to think in a way that no, it took a little bit of time, but
Yeah.
eventually it worked.
Mhm.
For me as well, suruma गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ a lot of things didn't turn out to be good. But eventually when you do the right things, when you have all the ticks on your check boxes, it works.
Okay.
So just give it some time, and you got to trust the process. You have to make the checklist of what you are doing,
Mhm.
how you are doing it, and if everything sounds good,
Yep.
it will work. It will work.
So do you think it's not something you can learn? It just happens with time?
It does happens with time. I mean, some skills that you have to build up on your own, and you have to be patient about it as well. It's not gonna work if you are too
Mm.
overworked, overtired. It's like the business won't be building on that.
Mhm.
You have to keep patience. You have like
Yes.
big giants. Even for me,
Mm.
an inspiration is Zomato as well, the
Yeah.
India's biggest giant.
Mhm.
Even they are doing something that I don't
Yeah.
want on my company to be done as well. But they're
Uh-huh.
they're giants. They're
Mm.
big. They're huge. It took probably like 20 years or 30 years for
Yeah.
them to be what they are right now.
Yeah.
And the guy trusted the process. So I think you once you have the checklist, and you let the process be, you let the work done itself, and it will go.
Okay, perfect. What would your advice be to
Mhm.
someone who's 18, 19 in Nepal who wants to start something of their own?
Okay. So if you're thinking about starting something and you haven't started yet, you're already late.
Okay.
And someone else have already started it, or
Mhm.
maybe done something
Yes.
beyond your thinking
Yes.
phase. So if you're thinking something, start now.
Okay. Okay, now we move on to hot or not round.
Okay.
So hot or not means like in this you'll have to like give your opinion. Do you think it's cool or not? It's good thing to do or not?
Okay.
So for starting off with directly diving into entrepreneurship without job experience.
Hot.
Okay.
Hot.
Hiring friends as your first employees.
Not hot.
Involving your siblings in the business.
Not hot.
Notification turned off during weekend.
Initial stage, it's not hot, but once you build the business, it's hot.
Sharing every milestone on Instagram.
It's hard.
Okay. Building solo.
Not hard. You can't
Working 24/7.
do- Not hard.
Saying yes to a lot of things just because you'll get an experience.
Not hard.
Getting close to employees in a personal level.
Not hard.
Wearing company merch even in family dinners.
Hard.
Taking money from your family to fund your startup.
That's hard.
Okay. So I think these are the last minutes of the podcast.
Okay.
One of the raw conversation that I want to have with you is like, how do you manage time
Okay.
when you have a lot of things to be done? So how would someone with
Mhm.
a lot of work to be done like not get burned out but still be in a direction of going somewhere efficiently?
Okay. So I think one of the things that I struggle personally as well.
Yes.
Tara, how I've been growing on it from past few months is I've got the right team behind me,
Mhm.
and I think instead of you being overworked, overhyped, maybe learn how to delegate your jobs.
Yeah.
So maybe delegate one part of job to one of your employees, or the other parts to other employees, and then once you get all the things that
Yes.
you want,
Yeah.
then you have to make your own decisions. Then you plan and strategize your moves. So I think delegation would really work in that case.
Okay, so like how do you like delegate properly?
How do I
How do
delegate?
you find right people to delegate? Because like again, not just business. When I was like interviewing volunteers for Arambha as well,
Mhm.
we just had a Google form where they had written their strengths, weaknesses, what they've done,
Right.
and we had an interview.
Uh-huh.
Like on one side, there's someone who's really good at communicating,
Right.
who's really good at convincing that you're great at the job,
Right.
and someone who's not good at convincing, but then who are great at their job. Like,
Yes.
how do you figure out the right people?
So two different skill set in two different person.
Yes.
Okay. त्यसको लागि what Hangry Gen does is we have a HR as well, right? So HR checks the company culture fit.
Mhm.
Even though he's young, even though he's talented, you can have the best skill that I want in my company, but if you're not culturally fit,
Yes.
we won't be hiring someone like that. So delegation wise, we check. We have like steps verifications where let's say if I'm hiring someone, I have like hundreds of interviews in a day. I let the HR filter the people who I don't want in my company.
Okay.
So I let the HR be, and then once that HR approvals I get, those people are only we get to interview, and then
Yes.
so that's I saved my time as well. I don't have to work like interview
Yes.
100 people,
Yes.
spend my whole day
Yes.
just interviewing people.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think when you have the right team,
Yes.
and you want what you
Yes.
want in your company,
Yes.
it's very simple to delegate and just trust the employee
Yes.
as well, that he's gonna do what he's
Yes.
gonna do.
Also, when you're young in a company, like you just have like 3-4 employees, it's not that hard to like transfer the company culture.
Right.
But then when it's a big scale, like how do you make sure everyone is aligned with the same goal and like has the same cultural perspective?
So I think you need it should be you that who needs to be communicating well with your employees as well, that you want what your vision is and what kind of company that you want to build.
Yeah.
So when you are clear on it, everything else is just a process. Like I said, you have the right team, you have an HR who's gonna take care of your company culture. So once you are confident about it, it's just gonna flow. It's just a process. It's gonna work.
And when I was researching again, it said first SOP based cloud kitchen company.
Right.
Like what exactly do you mean by that? Like explain it to people that are watching, and like what exactly are the processes like?
Okay.
Like, how does it work?
Okay, so SOP is standard operating procedure, right? It implies by its name. SOP. So every dishes that we cook, we have SOP for that. Our operation has SOP for that. Our rider has different SOPs.
Okay.
So what happens is when we get the order, everything is documented very well. And let's say we get a pizza order. We know that the pizza has to cook at certain degrees at for 3 to 4 minutes, like to 5 to 6 minutes or whatever time it is. And what ingredients that like goes, the thickness, everything is written and well documented.
Yes.
With that, operation wise, once the order is ready, our rider has different SOPs where they take the food out, put the napkins or in any other MD. After that, they take the bag, they leave.
Yep.
And before leaving, they call the customer and saying that, oh, we are heading your way. Can you please explain your location?
Yeah.
So to SOPs le gardakheri, our operation efficiency is very high.
Yep.
And not only that, I don't need highly skilled cooks and chefs in my
Oh
restaurant.
yeah.
Because SOP bada chahi, even if you want to learn how to make pizzas and burgers, it will take you like 48 hours to do that.
Wow. Perfect.
You know. So I think that's one thing that we are very scalable business as well, because we are SOP based.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, I think the final question that I want to ask you is, what do you think about Young Founders Bootcamp that you're planning?
What do I find?
What do you think about, like, would you join if you're like 18?
Yeah, definitely. I think too, learning is what missing. You know, even in Nepal's education system, Bhairoko education system as well. What I liked about Tetter is you go and you practically learn things, you know. And I think this is one of the place where where people can come and learn, you know, and meet the founders, you know, get some experience of them, how things work. Books ma jati padhe ni, until you don't dive in, you know, you don't get you don't get it how it works.
Yes.
So I think people should be joining it.
Okay, perfect. I think that's all. Thank you so much for giving your time. It means a lot. And we have something planned at Hangry Gen, which is going to be posted soon.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, everyone.